Hey y'all, it's Chimney. So I was thinking about this a couple of weeks ago and it stayed with me as an idea, so I figured I should make it a YouTube video. And that is that what I believe, my Christianity, my faith, it is so fucking wild. It's like, it is the most woo-woo shit of all time, and I think that's why I love it so much. Nothing is as compelling to me as God and Jesus and the Christian faith. It's just my absolute favorite thing. And so just for some context, I live here in Los Angeles, and Los Angeles is home of the woo-woo, okay? Reiki, crystals, astrology, earth mothers, all that stuff, chakras, you know, that's, just to be clear, that's very much taken from another culture, and we truly brought it into our Western culture and made it something else, you know, in terms of the yoga tradition. But just in general, being here in LA, you are slowly, even if you try to resist it, you are slowly gonna start eating organic food, you're gonna slowly start drinking green juices, and you're gonna slowly start understanding what your chakras are, and you're gonna slowly know what moon is in what house, and all these, you're gonna know what different crystals do. Like, you just kind of can't help it because the culture of LA is a very spiritually minded culture, which I love. I'm a fan of that, right? And I've got a lot of friends who kind of occupy different spaces of these different spiritual belief systems, which I truly love because it's just another lens of looking at the world. And I was just reflecting how so many of these things they're not mainstream yet. They're like starting to become mainstream, but they're not mainstream yet. So they're still kind of seen as a little woo-woo. It's like if you've seen Gwyneth Paltrow's show, the one about the Goop show, which I really liked also. People like kind of dismiss it because it's Gwyneth Paltrow. Y'all should watch that show. It's genuinely very, 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 very good. But anyway, so in that show, for instance, in her final episode, she talks about Reiki, which I really didn't understand until I watched that episode and I saw what it means. And if you don't have any kind of spiritual mindedness, it looks crazy. It looks psycho. It's truly people just like laying hands on you and healing you. It's basically what it is. And not even actually touching hands sometimes, just straight up sending vibes, you know? And I just love that. I love that being here in LA, I can get exposed to those things and just like have these really cool conversations with friends. Truly, I love it. And at the same time, I recognize that Christianity and just loving Jesus and loving God, I think has the perception of being far less cool than any of the other, you know, spiritual practices that are currently, you know, in our culture right now. It's a classic, you know, Jesus, Christianity, that goes way back, you know, that's a real throwback. And I think that's part of why it's not as cool. But I think also I think the perception is that if you believe in Jesus, you have a very regressive view of thinking in general. Like, you don't believe in science, you don't believe in women's rights and gay rights. Like, you know, there's all these different ways that you are reinforcing, you know, patriarchal, white supremacist thinking as a result of, you know, your faith. And I find that as a result, people are far less eager to claim their Christianity, to claim their love of Jesus, in both like professional but also in personal settings. Like, I have friends who love Jesus, but they're like, I don't really call myself a Christian though, because of all of the baggage that term comes with it, which I find very interesting and very fascinating. Because I'm like, y'all, we're the coolest ones. And it's not a competition. It's not a competition. Truly believe what you want as long as it serves you. But when it comes down to it, mine is the coolest one, and y'all need to get on board, okay? And so what made me think about this is that some of these other ways of engaging with spirituality and with the universe, and I do not mean to put that in quotes, but they're just very mercurial. There's not a lot of specifics. It's very vibe based. I'm trying to say it in a way that's respectful but also accurate, which I think is very just like, you know, you just tell the universe what you want and then that thing will come to you and blah, blah, like, you know, all very loose and high level. And what I love about Christianity is that the relationship between God, the creator of everything, and me is a one-to-one relationship. It is God made everything and he made me, and I am a literal child of God. Like, that is what I am opting into. You know, it's truly available to all of us, and I am opting into being a literal child of the creator of everything, all right? That's not a vibe that's not like the universe. That's my daddy. Like, that's my creator. And truly, whenever I want anything, I have a direct line. It's like the best version of nepotism. I literally just talk to the creator and I'm like, hey God. And he's like, what's up, girl? Y'all see that meme where it was like, hey angel? Whenever I say hey God, I always think, hey angel. But anyway, I really am just like, hey God, here's what I'm thinking about, here's what I'm worried about, here's what I'm stressing about. Can you help me out? And God's like, yeah, that's my whole jam, is helping you out because I love you. And that is, I feel like that's such a fundamental shift in how you move about the world when you believe that everything that you set your sight on, everything you hear, everything you see, everything you experience, this is a world that has been created by the Father that loves you, and it is all serving you, all of it. Every song I hear, I'm like, God knew I would get something from this song, and so he made it for me. Like every show I'm watching, I'm like, God knew I would love Money Heist. He knew I would love the character, the plotting, the action, the cinematography, the sound design, the music. He knew what was for me, and so he made a show for me because he wants to see me happy. And I feel like it's such a, like, it honestly is the closest thing to feeling like a superhero, is walking around feeling that the entire universe is holding you in. It's cradling you like a child because you are truly a literal child of God. And whatever you want, he's here to make it happen. And literally no weapon formed against you will ever hurt you. Like, that's a wild thing to believe. Just like walk in the world and be like, none of this shit gonna hurt me. People out here worried, y'all. People out here stressed. There's a whole pandemic. There are fires. People are dying. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm fine. Because I'm like, I mean, of course, there's some worries, there's moments of fear and stress, but I'm like, no, I'll be okay. And I really do believe that fundamentally. And that's just the main thing I want for people, is to just have a belief system that holds them, that cradles them, that makes them feel safe and makes them feel secure. And I feel like some of the other ones are very much like giving your power over. It's saying like, oh, I have to have this crystal, I have to have this physical thing and have it in my home, and that's where I'll get my power. Or, Jupiter has to align with Mercury, and if not, then it's gonna be weird this month. And it's just like, nah, like, it's all good. It's all good, it's gonna be good, like, God's got you. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the point of this video was, as I ramble on, I'm like, who's this gonna serve? But I just wanted to share that because I just feel like my faith gives me such peace and such joy and such excitement, It gives me this energy where I feel as if whatever I want to make happen, God is right next to me making sure it happens. And it's only if it's gonna be something good. Like, God is keeping the bullshit away from me. He's like actively like deflecting, like, nah girl. But all the good stuff, he's like, okay, that's good. And I'm just like, thanks. And I'm just like, growing and getting better, and, just becoming more peaceful and more joyful and having this renewed energy that I can share with others. And one thing, that I get all the time is that I have a really positive, joyful energy, which I love because, like, that's the whole point, is to move through this world with energy. But I think it's important for me to emphasize that I have not always been like this. Not at all. I used to be a much more cynical, much more darker, much more negative, much more just like less fun person to be around. And it was only through getting closer to God that my insights changed and that allowed me to show up differently, with people and for people. And so, I guess this is just my way of being like, y'all, get on the winning team. Like, go to church. It's 2021, get right. Get your soul right. Get your life right. And also, I just know that in all my other videos, I truly try to sneak in Jesus at least once. I feel like I've been slacking off on some of my later videos. So I'm like, let me make sure I'm just really emphasizing who I'm about, what this channel is for. And that's to bring y'all to Jesus, all right? That's truly, I'm not even being subtle. Like, it's gonna happen. Yeah, I try to sneak it in there, but it truly is the point of this channel. Like, I wanna live a life where y'all see the kind of art I can create, you see the opportunities I get to have, the places I get to travel, the friendships I get to build, and it's so much joy and goodness and blessings and light, and even the bad stuff, even the violence and the tragedy and the sorrow and the trauma, even that can be fuel, can be soil for beautiful, good stuff too. And I just want y'all to see what that looks like in me and how I show up, with the ultimate goal of bringing you on the winning team. So yeah, that's my whole point. At some point I'm gonna make a channel trailer, but until I do that, I think this kind of counts. This is basically my ethos, and this is my why for why this channel exists and what I'm doing here. And I hope you like it, you know? I hope you enjoy it. That's all. Give this video a like if it was helpful. Subscribe to see more. Let me know in the comments, do you believe in Jesus, or do you believe in crystals, or do you believe in science, or do you believe in man, or do you believe in astrology, or do you believe in something else entirely? And most importantly, is that serving you? Because that's all that matters. Are you being served? All right, bye y'all.